it's going to be hard to even keep it under the 20,000.
Okay, now the question I have is, what with most departments, they buy everything at first and then they give a allowance for.
We don't do the
No,
allowance.
actually,
We don't do that?
most departments don't do the allowance. If you do the allowance, you have to go about it completely differently, where you issue out, like a lot of detective groups do that, to where detectives will get 600 a year. I think was the last I heard as far as a norm to go get clothing. We don't do that, but
Why? I mean, so what is considered your uniform
Yes.
when you guys are purchasing uniforms for each?
What was it consistent?
Any of the, we have a Class A uniform that we have to have for court and funerals, like special events. We have a Class B uniform, which is the uniform that you wear, and then we have a Class C uniform, which is like training, special operations, anything that's like needed for tactical advantage, I guess.
Mhm.
And every deputy has all of these uniforms?
Negative. Not every deputy has a Class C uniform.
we're getting our 2 new deputies outfitted as we speak. So let's just see that 62% use so far go up. I'm not sure yet.
So on the
And that's also
badges-
leathers, any of the equipment aside from the pistol. It's like everything
Mhm.
that they have.
That one badge costs like $200.
So can we get
Great.
that split?
Now, do you guys
The-
keep those badges when if
Negative.
somebody leaves?
No.
No, but by the time, I mean, it depends if they're scratched up like no tomorrow. I mean, well, then they look awful. Then we might sub out a badge.
If you retire, you keep your badge.
Yeah.
Other than that, you have to turn all of your gear back in.
We reuse them as long as we can.
So for
Eventually,
me,
the back pins just will break off and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff, and you just it's not a crazy amount, but we have
We
to buy
reuse
from- we like-
everything of the insignia, the badges. We use everything except for the name tags. We can't reuse those, obviously.
yeah.
we probably go through like 6 badges a year in patrol and 3 or 4 in the jail.
So on the uniforms and badges, I personally would like to see that separated into 2 separate lines. Uniforms on one and then badges on another.
Okay.
Just
You want
so it's
it should-
easier for us.
It should
to
be. It
understand.
should then say badges and insignia
Okay.
because that'll be the collar brass.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Yep,
kind of
yep.
stuff.
And where are we
Anything
going
that
to
has-
put the what's the person that calls it sews? The seamstress that does all your
Tailor.
alterations. Where's
We don't
The
pay them.
tailor, she does it for free.
You gotta,
It's our evidence.
or you gotta
tech.
go pay for it yourself.
Or you pay for it yourself.
okay?
We do use them for alterations on the initial, for example, like someone's got
Oh.
still on. We actually do.
Yeah, I was
use
gonna
that
say,
too.
for, like, Yeah.
So we actually do pay for that for like we don't have anyone talented
It's part of
enough
the
to
cost
do
of the
it.
original
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah, let me clarify. So when we buy our uniform tops, it's just the uniform top, and then we have to buy the patches. We have to pay them to put the patches on.
Right.
That's
And then
that's the
use
company that we
Mhm.
buy the uniforms from.
That's part of the initial cost
Right,
of the shirt.
right.
It's just factored into
So
it.
and the reason I brought it up is because Commissioner Cobb would like to see it separated. So then my question is, where's that gonna go? Is that gonna go on the badges line or would that go on the uniform line?
I
Which
would
one?
say that would go on the uniform line because anything IRS states as uniform is it has the emblem or so I would say that would go on the uniform end, and then badges separated into its own.
Badges and insignia.
That's just my thoughts.
And just so we're clear, Commissioner, you're talking about like leathers would go with uniforms as well.
Mhm.
Just get all that.
Yeah, it's not cheap to buy the.
What's your thought process on separating out the badges?
Well, that way you know you have a line item there for the badges specifically. For badges and because right now when people look at this, they say uniform and badges. Well, they'll think, well, do they spend $10,000 on badges? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it helps us. It helps
the
everybody
people,
and
I
also
guess,
the
yeah.
public.
Sure.
All right, I get it now. Okay.
What are we gonna do with the amount, though? I mean, we don't have any money, but we're setting ourselves up for a problem if we.
So this
Yeah.
just includes your outside attire, right? It's not like undergarments.
Correct.
Okay, because undergarments are not.
Okay.
Anything that could be personally worn
Yeah.
outside of
The
work.
problem is the police uniform's gotten so expensive. It's like these shirts are like $90 to $100. You know, it's crazy what they used to be like $40,
Mhm.
like 20 when I started. And these pants, they're all like just these pants, which aren't Class A, they're like $70, $60 to $70. You try to find them on sale and stuff, but they're
And add $10 or more for specific when it comes to a female top.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we already cut the budget from 30,000 to 20,000 yet last year in this line.
Well, if you keep the 20,000, then we've got to figure out where to take it, the other 15.
That's what I'm thinking, but the problem is you have to have a uniform. Right?
So are you
Yeah.
cause
So far
she's
this
saying
year,
5,000?
Yeah.
She wants
So-
5,000, which doesn't work.
Well,
The-
I was thinking how many people are we outfitting this year?
Well, it depends,
Every year you're outfitting 20 some people with it.
cause your
We-
uniform doesn't last.
We would do better. We could give every person over there $500 a year on a clothing allowance and still come out ahead.
It doesn't work. In my opinion, that doesn't work because you're giving them control over what they purchase and what they don't purchase. And then, so maybe they think that, you know, a really cool pair of pants is better than outfitting the shirt that they needed to replace. Like you
Well,
can't,
Would it just be, these are the mandatory things that, this is the site and these are the mandatory things that if you're purchasing?
Would it also include an initial issue? Because an initial issue, obviously, that no one's going to be able to afford that.
Right.
So, like, then are you suggesting that there's an initial issue?
How many, then that's usually a couple a year.
The average is 4.
4 years.
We just had a couple good years, but we probably are going to lose 4 in the next 2 months. I guarantee you. We have multiple people.
as soon as the
looking for other
budget
positions.
talk started and, I've already had one deputy come and resign. We had our civil clerk resign, and then there's, you know, according to the talk, you know, there's 6 other deputies who are going to resign. So, yeah, not including detention. So
it's kind of happening.
it's gonna
over this way, too.
be the uniforms.
So I think it's all departments are feeling that right now.
Yeah, definitely. But I can guarantee you that $5,000 is not
Not
gonna
gonna
even
be
come
enough.
close to covering what's needed for uniforms.
So what we're trying to, so Lori, this is trying to keep in with what was noticed out, right?
No, this is trying to keep them at like the $5 million mark. And is what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Near there.
Yeah, it's not that we're not willing to cut where we
Yeah.
can, but the way we operate now, that we went from 35,000 down to 20,000 over the last 3 budget cycles.
Yeah, but you haven't come even close, Lance.
Yeah,
That's because we
had set, you only
we
said
haven't-
17,000.
you got to figure in 2024 we didn't lose a single employee.
And we're not done this year.
24.
And Madam Clerk, if I may, so if we did the annual 500 at 600 a year, because just a badge is expensive, but at 600 a year, that just with our current employees would be 13,200. That's not including initial issue. If you went the direction you suggested,
Is that including dispatch, who also comes out of there?
no, it did not.
And
So
they have.
Well,
pulled
what
us.
I did was took your amount of employees because you're asking 30 here. The detention center has a 4,500. I think I averaged that you had 43 people there, and so like now I get that some of them don't have to have a full on uniform, but I was just breaking it out. So 43, I don't remember what I did, maybe 500.
It should be around 750.
That's 21,500.
Yeah.
We're still saving money, and that's giving every person over there a $500 clothing allowance.
Mhm.
And I'm certain that the cooks don't need them, but and the girls up front and like Julie, they probably don't have to have the full on uniform, but they probably wear one of the collared.
A polo occasionally.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
So
that, you guys have paid for those on your own, haven't you?
I never did.
Because you don't even. 'cause
Only
there's
Carol wears the polo
Only
because she
Carol's on.
takes the evidence. So
Yeah.
And Melissa.
Melissa on the front.
Okay.
so what are we putting on
Just in
here?
brainstorming would be able, if we entertain that, would be able, because they obviously don't need a $500 clothing allowance in certain positions, but reduce those and bring up patrols. But then also include the initial issue.
But they don't even have a uniform allowance to begin with.
Right, that's what I mean, going off of her suggestion.
Well,
I mean, at the end of the day, $5,000 is far below what is needed just compared to the prices of having to buy uniforms and replace leathers.
Yeah, that won't outfit 2 people if they get new people.
No.
And part of it is our bulletproof vests come out of there too sometimes.
That's right.
What do you
Ballistic
think, Madam
vest.
Well,
Clerk?
now, you're saying 20,000, but because we are splitting that uniforms and badges, what would you think?
We buy
out
like
of that?
3 badges a year. If
Okay,
that.
so you
Like,
just have a small badge line.
yeah, because we reuse them.
What would you think for?
If you're gonna put insignia in there too.
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
put
insignia.
insignia also, well, that amps it up a lot. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous what they charge for insignia. Like the collar brass or
collar brass and their name tags and
yeah.
any rank that they have,
The
so that
whistle
the
chain.
public knows what the ranking system is.
Just the badge alone is an easier one to figure. So I'd say 3 badges a year.
Mm-hmm.
Which the last 3 we bought was like, and we even tried other companies, it was like $350 per.
Mm-hmm.
And
And do
insignias
you,
are
do you
harder to
buy
judge.
badges every time you get a new?
No, we reuse
Okay,
the badges.
okay.
Yeah. Whenever we have a deputy who
Good.
resigns, we collect all of their gear,
Okay.
which is all the insignia,
Yeah.
the badges, and we reuse all of
Okay.
that until you just can't use it
Okay.
anymore.
Okay.
Until it's either broken or unreadable.
So I guess it's one of those things where you could go, okay, well, this is what we have. What do we think we would need
About 3 a year.
for 2026? Okay.
Yeah, I try to
Yeah.
keep it 2-3 a year to
Okay.
try to start slowly out, because these things, they aren't invincible. They do break and whatnot out in
'Cause I'm
fights
just-
or whatever they get into.
So let's put like 2,500 in badges and insignia, something like
And
that.
then
that would
and
probably
that,
do
Mhm.
2,500
and
badges
then that
to
will
get
come
the
from
test
your
year.
uniforms. Okay. About 2,600 or 2,500?
25.
Okay.
The test year, yeah.
Okay.
And then what for clothing? Or
And
uniforms?
that's-
The
Yeah.
rest of the 20,
Yeah.
so 17.5.
No, you said the C uniform. That's what I did. I just didn't understand. Is that very costly?
The C uniform?
Mm-hmm.
Every uniform's expensive. The Class A is going to be,
But what's the C uniform again?
it's going to be like your jumpsuit technically these days.
It's for like the rapid action team.
And how many people on the rapid action team? I mean,
Yeah, and some of those things brought down cost. Like the rapid action team itself costed $0 to outfit because we used a grant to do so for that
Okay.
type of team. or very close to zero, if anything. But we do. Our guys wear jumpsuits, is what they're called. I don't know another name.
Well, there's guys
that
on
would
patrol
explain
wearing
it.
jump shoot.
That's
jump
patrol.
suits. Mhm.
That's the massive majority of those uniforms.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you see the guys all in green.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Or what?
kind of, they are expensive, but when you think about it, like, so the jumpsuits, they unzip, so you can make them short sleeve or long sleeve. Otherwise, we have to buy 2 short sleeves, 2 long sleeves, for weather changes. You know, I don't know.
And that's going to be another bigger expense coming out this year because we got to get quite a few of them, those jumpsuits. That I haven't been able to purchase yet.
So when you buy I just have a request, Miss Julie. When you do the uniforms, sometimes you put who the uniform is for over in the comment. Could you start doing that for every uniform that's bought so we know who's getting it?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
So
Training 555.
I mean, we're going to, again, with losses, we're going to see an increase of need for training.
So how much in-house training
So
do you do?
due to the fact, like, I come in unpaid and do it, which I'm trying to pull back from slightly for the sake of my family, we already don't have the coverage to then swap shifts and do it. We try to do it on overlap days. You're pretty much relying in-house extensively on the sergeants, the lieutenant, and myself to do it around the edges, either one-on-one as situations develop, so on and so forth. As new case law comes out, we do extensive in-house training. However, for example, any of the more intensive trainings that rely where you get all your confessions from, your interviews for sex crimes, your any violent crime stuff, pretty much has to be farmed out. It's very difficult to do that in-house. In fact, our experienced detective left. So now we don't even have that. We have a brand new detective that's 3 years on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of in-house training we've seen actually decrease, and with this projected loss of more deputies, we'll see the ability to even do in-house training decrease much further.
On top of that, there's a lot of training that's just simply mandated by the state
Right.
to do.
Right,
Well,
and I know that
Mhm.
for
A
sure.
lot of the mandated we are handling in-house.
Okay.
As much as possible.
Okay.
I'm a
Because-
firearms trainer. We have one of them.
Right.
I teach that and use of force.
Mhm.
And I
I
Lopez
just see
is
a lot of
our,
other counties are doing that to try and keep the cost
Lopez
down.
is the Archon instructor.
Mhm.
The thing about the other counties, though, is that they have a full-time training coordinator who does that, and we just don't have the people to do that. But we do as much in-house training as we
Okay.
can to cut down on cost.
We have in-house taser instructors. We have in-house. We're trying to get someone certified to teach the driving.
Emergency
Yeah,
evac.
evoc.
And I've been calling a lot of favors from these other counties to get us free courses in evoc training and such as well, which we've been having.
Okay.
Okay.
And I see.
So what happens if we go from 33 to 20?
Yeah.
Your liability increases significantly. One of the most important things law enforcement's going to do is train.
Just to train, maybe as a possible example I can use, just to train how to take away a child as far as when you see a child through imminent danger. At this point, the majority of our people, even currently on the road, are not comfortable doing that because the amount of training you have to do just to do that one thing is extensive.
Now does the state police do the child endangerment stuff, or do you guys have to? I mean,
They really, coming from the state police world, they really didn't touch most of the super high liability stuff like that.
I mean, the laws with the child sheltering have changed so much that it's put a heavy burden on law enforcement liability wise, because say if you shelter a child, not only can you get sued from, like, they can sue the sheriff's office. Now the deputy themselves can personally be sued. So there's a whole new set of training that had to be completed for that.
Now, is our prosecutor, does he's not involved in that training or anything like that? Because he would be the one that would be, you'd think he'd be the one that would be training on that because he wants to reduce our liability and.
Yes, this is initially. The problem is, so if I take a scenario, it's unlike any other profession where, or most any other profession, where you take one scenario and say, well, if you have these exact facts, then you can take a child. The problem is, I will never see those exact facts again. So it's going to be a completely different set of facts. So to get to the point where someone is proficient, he came and briefed the change in case law and said, now you personally can get sued as a deputy who sees a child, right? And he explained how that the legalese went, kind of like the land deal he showed you guys. But he didn't then go tell us exactly how to police that land deal, right? It's very similar. He'll tell the change, explain out the law, explain out the change of the law, and now how you implement it. Lawyers are usually, and I'm not trying to harp on him, in general, lawyers are very good at not going, we'll go ahead and do this. They'll say, well, this is kind of the step-by-step process to do so. So the training really falls heavily on departments and particularly administration.
And that's just one, I mean, even the child sheltering is just one thing out of.
And we have, you have all the invoices and stuff like that, Lori, that we can review on training.
There, well, their training, also, let me double check. Their training also, includes their travel and their per diem. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all in there.
And post.
Post.
Oh, it includes post as well?
Doesn't it include?
Oh, in that case, we definitely can't lower it because we're going to have a lot of people going to post. If that's
So
the
it
case.
includes post.
Am I correct?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so this is,
Okay,
okay, so that makes more sense in a way.
it does. I didn't realize it included all of that.
I'm not gonna lie, every time they touch something that has to do with training, it's
Expensive.
Yeah.
ridiculous expensive.
Because the liability is so high.
Right, there, I mean, they went to one class, the class itself. I think it was a 3-day class and each class was, don't hold my feet to the fire, but I want to say that each class was like $1,000 or something.
Correct. And the reason for that is just like an FTO
Right.
officer. As soon as I train something on FTO, which I don't FTO anymore, but when I did, that deputy now says, well, Captain Green told me to do this. Now I get sued personally.
Right.
So that's the price that comes with it.
Right, no, I was just saying, where when
But you
we
guys
go
have-
to a class, it's $200 to register. When they register,
You guys don't have immunity anymore?
No, that's been gone a long time. It's getting worse.
It's definitely not helping the recruitment area in law enforcement.
I'd call it limited immunity now.
We also don't have good faith. That's another common misconception.
So,
So we're at a decision where we have to figure out, they've already expended 27,000 this year,
30 as of.
Yep.
30 as of then.
And under sheriff, did we pay the whole post up front or the back end or installments as it goes?
Both pay up front, but
Okay.
so far NIC, the last two people we've been getting like some type of
Grant,
funding.
right?
Yeah, that they've been funding it. So I don't know. Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. So the last few people, cause
Can't count on it, but it's nice
Right.
to have one.
yeah.
It sure is.
So what is the board, what do you want to look at? We got
I don't know where we're gonna get the money, but how do we cut out mandatory training for liability? I think we ought to leave it.
Well, how many hours do you actually pay them to train? Just the minimum? Or how far above and beyond do you go? I guess that's where we need to go. Let's start with what's it gonna cost for minimum. And then this is for everything and see if we can find somewhere in the middle.
Just to clarify, how much are you trying to cut total out of the justice fund
Well,
from what we
you
requested?
you come in this year asking nearly 5.8.
Like 5.7 something.
5.77.
Okay. Was that with the 3% or?
That is.
Yeah, take that out and we're below probably where we were this year. But
so we'll need to revisit with the.
and what are you trying to cut us down to?
I'm trying to get to it. So where is our right here? No, wait. It's like because you guys bring in about 1.6 million in revenue, and then with taxes, you're gonna get just about 3 million, so a total of 4.6 million.
What's the amount of revenue we actually bring in versus what's shared with the county? On your projections.
Okay. Rephrase that because I am not.
What's actually what we bring in as an entity?
1.6.
No.
Without the county sharing part of it, so.
Board of Prisoners, the revenue
I think I might have.
for the jail revenue is about 301,000, rounding up a little bit, about 3.1. Sheriff revenue is 1.3, and then take away. Well, I guess maybe, because you get your sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be around 730.
730. Your sheriff agreements are 200, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus your 200,000 for your agreements, 2, 5, 2, 7, plus your patrol, 226, maybe a couple hundred, 226 maybe there. Oh no, you got driver's license.
See, after the amount's going to be approximately
$777.
if she's trying to get to 5 million from 5.77.
So it's going to be all of these.
It's a weird one.
Really, the only thing, because the interest income is yours, that's, here's your property tax. So the sales tax is the only thing. Because this is their grant. Oh, and the revenue sharing.
Right.
But that's a set amount. Is the revenue sharing?
There, and he was asking for the number without the county surplus, so without Phillips, without any. So
I figure it out.
it's around 700,000.
Yeah.
And I don't think my number has grants,
Right.
as well.
So Lori, the amount of cuts that you're trying to accommodate here is the 777,000. Is that accurate? Or
Well,
You'd have to go from today's.
your
Like just in general.
Your,
what are
I
you
was
at?
looking at like maybe your last year's budget
Mhm.
was, what was that, 555? I'm not 100% sure.
5521.
And trying to get it down to where we can,
And that was last year, and that was including the 600 and some odd thousand that we, from cash that we gave from the public funds, right?
From the public defense.
Public defense.
Yeah, I think we showed that we didn't get that. That went to the current expense, but
no, it didn't.
well, the current expense went up exactly 600 and some thousand, and the justice fund went down 600 and some thousand. If you look at the overall budgets,
But that amount, I guess, wasn't a reoccurring tax revenue. That was a cash amount, is what I understood.
Yeah.
there was a 300,000 or something that was
Yeah.
the actual revenue that went into the public defense. So there was a net of like 300 and some thousand.
Okay, so did we settle on what we're trying to cut out of this budget here, Lori?
Well, I'm saying, and that's with that your revenue is going to be about, what did I say? 496? 4.6? I can find it, revenue.
I guess it's just hard to determine like what we can cut here and we can cut there, but if I don't know what the target cutting goal is, it's kind of hard to determine what we're doing.
Well, 4.6 is really what I'm projecting. You will probably get a little more because of weird taxes, like the HTR and FTR and there's all these little things that you absolutely can't. We can't count.
I mean, is there
So-
like just an estimated number? Like, is it 600,000? Is it 700,000 that we'd be short?
Well, you were what, 5.6 last year, and we need to go down to under 5 or under.
Can I just? It's 5.6 last year. What we pitched this year included obviously the cost for the COLA, but also would it be the insurance costs going up and stuff as well. So really, we're cutting more than just from last year. Correct, because we can't really; those are going up, which means we got to cut somewhere else. Is what you're saying.
want to hit is what?
So what is it, like 700?
5 million or less is the budget.
So that means we need to cut 776,000.
From the original
5 million or less.
right?
From the original ask,
Yes.
yeah.
So 776.
How much of that was 3%?
We just
About that one.
About that much.
I'm gonna use that. This
Take away the 3% with even. Yeah, I like your answer.
Take a little, yeah, I think we need to, I think we need to take a little break.
Take a 5-minute recess.
5 minutes, that's not really.
About 10.
And I can negotiate that.
I think it's hard to know what cuts look like, what we're shooting for, if we don't know what the number is.
So we're looking at
Motion to recess, 10 minutes.
I'll second it.
So
All in favor?
we have.
Aye. Okay, let's reset for 10
Probably
minutes.
would be right here.